Hello everybody, how's it going today? Glowplasma231 here, back in today, bringing you the November and December manga haul of 2023, or as I am dubbing it, the holiday season manga haul, because of course, November and December, a bunch of holiday seasons going on, right? Like a lot of stuff, and because it's the holiday season, there's a lot less money going around at times, obviously buying gifts for people, and not as much things are getting bought for yourself. And that is why in this manga haul, for like the past two, of course, the summer one had like about 40 volumes in it, and the October one had about 30. Today we only have 13. But these 13 volumes are actually a lot of really good volumes in my opinion. I got caught up on one series a whole lot and a few other great series, so as normal, I'm just going to be going through these 13 books and talking about them whenever I feel like it. A few notes before we begin: if the setup looks a bit different, this was very much thrown together really fast, and if I'm sort of speeding up here a little bit, it's because I sort of have a few other things I need to get done after I record this video. So as normal, we're just going to talk about the manga. So first off, we're going to obviously start off with all the Viz published stuff, then go to all of the Kodansha published 7 Seas, and ending it off with Yin Press. And I don't have too much else to say, so I just say let's hop into it with the Viz published titles. Now, all the Viz published titles came out of the Shonen Jump line this week, and of course we have Jujutsu Kaisen Volume 21, World Trigger Volume 25, and Akane Banashi Volume 3. So I don't even know where to get started with these. I guess we're just going to get started with Akane Banashi in its 3rd volume. This is a brilliant volume and an excellent cover. Of course, I have not read the contents of this volume since I initially read it when it came out in the magazine of Shonen Jump, and we got Koguma on the back. And this volume isn't quite the pinnacle of Akane Banashi yet. Now, Akane Banashi has not reached its pinnacle though, but there is a very awesome moment sort of rounding off the first big arc of Akane whenever she goes to confront somebody about her father. Of course, that being, Shiguma? Yeah, no, is it Shiguma? I forget. It's the big, maybe his name's in the back front of the book. Isho Arakawa, that's the guy's name. And the big confirmation will be coming at next volume, but even so, this is just another build-up. Reading Akane Banashi in those early stages was probably the most emotionally scared I felt in a manga. You could feel the build up through all of those chapters until it finally all got released. You could feel the tension every week, and of course that's by the amazing artist and story writer Yuki Sanaga and Takamasa Mue. And yeah, Akane Banashi is just great. I just can't wait to get that next volume and then binge all 4 volumes at once, or just to read that amazing experience. But yeah, Akane Banashi, a really solid one. I love the cover. Of course, art is just amazing. And yeah, it's pretty awesome. I guess next we'll just go over to World Trigger. I love World Trigger. I do manga reviews of it here on the channel. One here that probably came out a few days ago, the posting of this video. This is a nice thick volume. It just contains more of the away mission test arc. And yeah, there's not really a whole lot more to go into without spoiling what's going on in World Trigger right now. Being that it is a 25 volume series, there is a lot going on. And I know not everybody's a massive World Trigger fan, but even so, just go check out this manga. You will not regret it. I can tell you that for sure. But World Trigger Volume 25, it's pretty awesome. Obviously, showing Team Mizukami here on the front. So yeah, it's pretty awesome. Awesome if I could speak. And round up Shonen Jump with Jujutsu Kaisen Volume 21. Of course, in the last manga haul, you saw that I picked up Jujutsu Kaisen Volume 9. And you may be wondering, oh, why are you going from 9 to 21? And that is because that 21 holds my favorite fight in all of Jujutsu Kaisen. I mean, I don't care what happens in the future of the series, even though I am caught up and I'm reading week to week. This just has the entirety of the Tokyo No. 2 colony, and occasionally, like, I would just pop in to read a chapter of Jujutsu Kaisen for I was caught up on it, and in 2021, I think, is whenever this started, or maybe it was 2022, but whenever it happened, I was there, and I just picked up it whenever the beginning of this fight happened, and I just read it every week until the end, just because I was so captivated by the story that Akatame was writing. And of course we have Kashimo here on the cover, as he is probably the main antagonist of the volume. And yeah, it is just a solid volume. I'm sure many manga fans pick this one up because it's a Jujutsu Kaisen, right? You can't go wrong. But I'm happy to have this as a part of my collection. Yeah, this is that one Jujutsu Kaisen volume I'll pull off the shelf and say, you know what, this is good. So that's pretty awesome. That's Jujutsu Kaisen Volume 21. And for the first time in one of these videos, I have almost the least of the Jujutsu or Shonen Jump volumes, because normally I have a bunch of Shonen Jump volumes and then a few less of everything else. But we even see that I have a few less Shonen Jump volumes with the Kodansha stuff that we're moving on to next. And the Kodansha stuff all revolves around one series, that being Shangri-La Frontier. So, of course, with the anime of Shangri-La Frontier coming out, a lot of people have been getting into it. Of course, I've been reading Shangri-La Frontier since the first volume dropped in English, but my local bookstore just hasn't been able to sell those initial volumes, so I haven't been able to pick up the new ones as they come out. And recently, going Black Friday shopping, my another store far out of my area, a good drive away, had all the volumes in stock. And with the Black Friday deals that Books of Millions, my local bookstore, had, I said, you can't go wrong, and I just picked up 4, 5, 6, and 8. 7 was not in stock. Even if it was, I would have picked it up, but 7's only be coming a bit later down the line. But Shangri-La Frontier is just an amazing series, all based on that video game MMORPG, which is just really fun. Volume 4 here obviously has Kazo on it, and Kazo is probably my favorite character in the series, so it's just an awesome volume to have. Volume 5 has another immaculate cover with Waizemon on it, or Weathermon, whatever you want to call him. I like to call him Waizemon, but it is just, I mean, just look at that blue art fading into that red. It is just, of course, beautiful, and of course the tagline of Unstoppable Force versus Unbreakable Object. That's pretty fun, but this is just a really awesome volume. The Waizemon fight possibly may be one of my favorite in manga in general. The only other one I can think that would possibly beat it could maybe be Arthur versus Dragon from Fire Force, but to truly go through there and like talk and like break it down, I need to reread both fights in its totality, and I just can't wait till not only the Waizemon fight gets animated, but I can watch it and also read along, because it is just an amazing battle. Then we have volumes 5, or not 5, that's 5, 6 and 8 of Shangri-La Frontier. These two I don't remember as great. I remember more of what happens in 6 going into 7 than what actually happens in 8. But these are building up on the next arc, which is of course the Lycog and the Light Slayer arc, and facing off of those after Waizemon. It is just an amazing experience, Shangri-La Frontier is, and yeah, 2 amazing volume covers here, 2 alright but still great ones here, and yeah, that's really all I gotta say on these. I mean, this is gonna be a shorter video, but just because a lot of these series I don't have much to say, like Shangri-La Frontier, go check out the anime. It is amazing. You won't regret it. Jujutsu Kaisen, the anime is airing. We all know it's airing. You won't regret it. And World Trigger, I can barely convince people to read, and Akane Banashi, if you're into manga, you've probably checked it out, so sort of just how it is right now, but Shangri-La Frontier, that's pretty cool. And hey, they mostly all line up. There may be a little few inconsistencies here, but it is still awesome. I mean, just look at that beautiful cover. That is just immaculate. But moving on, we go to the 7 Seas portion of this, where we see what our 7 Seas portion is, and we see that we have 1 volume, and that is a colorless volume number 5. I have genuinely nothing to say about this one besides that, of course, this is a manga whose whole color scheme, or whole idea is that pages are colored, right? And sometimes they have splashes of color inside them, while also just being a black and white manga at the same time. So it's just a really cool series with a gimmick. I actually need to sit down and reread volumes 1 through 4 to be able to read 5, because I don't remember what happened in half of those volumes. It's sort of the Go-Go or Loser Ranger situation I've talked about before, or Ranger Reject as most of us prefer to call it. It's just a series where it had a really weird start to it, and because of that I didn't really remember as much of it before getting into the meat and bones of the series and the really cool moments that make you really remember it. So yeah, this is colorless volume 5. Don't really have a whole lot to say on it. Really cool just red volume cover though, and hey, as you can see, almost the first half of the volume has that color implants in it, as you see with the pages there, like red and then red. Yeah, it's just really awesome. Pretty cool. And we're almost already done going on to the Yin Press published books, and of course we got a few different ones here. We got about 4 total different series, but I'm just going to start off with the Yin On book, which is Liar Liar Volume 2. Of course, this is a light novel series based on the Liar Liar anime that just aired. I like anime, so I picked up the books. I would really prefer if they did these books like they do a lot of other ones, and like, of course, the Yin Press Classroom of the Elite volumes. Of course, those are big, beefier volumes in Japanese. I would just prefer if these volumes were a bit thicker, and even if you had to pay a bit more for them, that's totally fine, but just a little bit more content than just what's in these. Like, if you put volumes 1 and 2 together and just sold to me as a package, I would like that a bit more, but still, this isn't a problem at all. I haven't personally read this. It's got a cover for sure, so take a gander at that, but yeah, I just don't really have a whole lot to say about this one because I haven't personally read it. But going to a series that I have read a lot of, that is, of course, Oshi no Ko, Volume 4 here, of course, with Kana on the front. This volume is pretty much where the anime ends for the first season of Oshi no Ko, so this is a big one for people because, of course, next volume will be, oh, you could read past the anime in English. Oh my goodness. Like that's pretty cool. But yeah, this is just Oshi no Ko Volume 4. Of course, I do Oshi no Ko chapter reviews on the channel, just like World Trigger. So you've got to realize this is a series I really like. And because of that, I talk about it. So, I mean, we all know what Oshi no Ko is. I mean, if you know what this is, or even this is, you've probably heard of Oshi no Ko. So, yeah, just really not a whole lot to say about this one again. Just, yeah, it's Oshi no Ko. And then the last 3 volumes we got here are Yokohama Station Volume 2, Yokohama Station SF, my bad, Volume 2, and Yokohama Station SF Volume 3, and then Chain Soldier Volume 3. I picked up 2 other volumes of Chain Soldier and said, you know, Volume 2 ended up on enough of a cliffhanger, I want to know what happens next. And what happens next is a tournament arc, and that tournament arc is what? It's Chain Soldier. Of course, you can probably tell what this series is meant to be about. Yeah, look at that. Yeah, it's just an ecchi series, and it's just like, okay, that's alright, but I mean, it's fine. I don't know if I'm going to pick up the next volume, but hey, if I'm feeling that way, we'll see here, right? But the big topic of this episode is probably going to be Yokohama Station SF. I don't know if I'm going to make a video on this series in the future. Let me go grab Volume 1 real fast. Volume 1 is a grab. Now, take a note, I did buy Volume 1 a few months ago, but I sort of had the same issue picking up these last 2 volumes. Like Shangri-La Frontier Days didn't come into my store personally, so whenever I was out Black Friday shopping and I saw all of these bad boys, for Black Friday, I picked up all of the Shangri-La Frontier volumes, Yokohama Station SF 2 and 3, and what else did I pick up? Yeah, I picked up Liar Liar and also Oshi no Ko, so these were 8 volumes I picked up, and I picked them all up for like $75, so to me, you really can't beat that when these are all 13 a pop. I think, yeah, I think they're all pretty much 13 a pop. This one is 15, but the rest of them are all 13, so yeah, you can't really get them all for 75 at that rate. So if you get what I'm saying, you get what I'm saying. But going back over to Yokohama Station SF, I really enjoyed the first volume. It built up an interesting world of, hey, Yokohama Station in Japan has found a way to self-replicate itself and expand all over the entire continent. And I really liked everything that was brought up in the first volume, the world building, the interesting thing of our main character, Hiroto, being somebody who came from outside the station in something they called a station hollow, in something called like 99 steps or something like that, and he got a Suica ticket, an 18 ticket as they called it, to be able to go into the station and explore and solve a mystery, find somebody from the Dodger Alliance as they called it, and also go to exit 43, I think it was, to find out a mystery by a man named the Professor who came to his town all of a sudden. So reading this first volume, I was like, man, that's really interesting. I wonder how long it's going to be, and found out it had 2 more volumes. As I don't know if you can really see, but this volume 3 is a bit thicker than the other one, 2, and then there's 1. But I was very interested in the mystery that would be built up. So whenever I was able to get my hands on them, I said, you know what, I'm going to. Now, something to take note about Yokohama Station SF is that it was originally a light novel, which is a single light novel, and there's like another one called Yokohama Station SF National, which is a sequel. I don't know if that also got a manga adaptation, but as you're going to hear from my thoughts here, I'm probably not too interested in picking up the next installment because This series went in a very weird direction, if you sort of... It goes in a really weird direction. I don't know how to say it. This character right here is apparently supposed to be so important they got a volume cover. So you're like, okay, if we've got another character, like, oh man, they almost look like an antagonist. Maybe they're going to show up for a core part of the series. Well, the first few chapters of this volume are all about our main character, Hiroto, going out and exploring the world, meeting the person from the Dodger Alliance, and just learning more about inside of Yokohama Station. And then we switch off to about 5 or 6 chapters all about this guy, which I don't even remember his name. Yeah, I don't even know if it says it down here. Let me check the inside of Volume 3 for... Yeah, there's not even any character pages, but you can even see here, there's like that right there, and you're like, okay, so if we have 2 protagonists that are really focused on, maybe we'll be able to see them meet up and find out the secrets together. No. These characters meet up for a second. Hiroto hands this guy an item, and that's it. Like, in that item, you're like, okay, maybe I'll have a resolution. We do not see this character again at all after Hiroto gives him this thing as he's escaping Yokohama Station for reasons, right? But it's just such a mess of series where, like, I felt like it would have been better, even if there was just even another chapter, 20 pages, I'm not asking for much, of just a semi-more conclusion than what we get in this volume, which here at the end, it is pretty much just going, if I can find it. Yeah, it's pretty much our main character just saying, yeah, here's how everything happened, telling his village, and that's it. And this is just an epilogue thing that has nothing to do with it. Like, generally, nothing happens in there important. I don't know if it's setting up for the events of the next sequel series or whatever, but either way, this series, I feel, is just handled really, really poorly. And I really enjoyed everything that was built up here. And in this volume, it started to go straight a little bit. I'm like, all right, whenever these 2 characters meet up, do something cool and eventually do whatever they're trying to do to the station. That's going to be pretty neat. But this volume just didn't fulfill any of that. It just left our main character here, Hito, just looking like, okay, he's a protagonist and not really too much else in that. So this series was one that I was very hopeful in everything it could be, but it just didn't live up to that. And do I regret buying these 2 volumes? No, because it's an alright, cool-looking cover, and maybe that's about it. Maybe I do sort of regret buying them, but overall, it's interesting enough. So maybe that's sometimes all I can hope for, is not everything can be as great as a World Trigger Jujutsu Kaisen or even an Oshinoko, or probably the greatest thing here is the Waizamon fight, but either way, I just felt like this series was a little bit handled poorly. I feel a little bit handled better, it'd be a bit better. So I know that sense made no sense, but it's staying in. But yeah, that's all the manga from this month. Like I said, 13 volumes, a little bit more meager than normal, but either way, still pretty awesome. So let's just go back through. We had all of Shangri-La Frontier, Yokohama Station SF Volumes 2 and 3, Oshinoko, Liar, Liar, Volume 2, Light Novel or whatever, Jujutsu Kaisen 21, World Trigger 25, Kane Banashi 13, Chain Soldier 3, and Colorless 5. So I definitely think some great pickups this week, and yeah, that's really all I got for this video. And now to the promotional plugs and everything. So of course, I'm Glowplasma231. If you enjoyed this manga haul in any sort of capacity, hopefully you won't mind subscribing to the channel and giving a like to the video. Those little things just really help out. And like I said, we're into holiday season still, so all of that just goes a little bit better to making my day better, and hopefully yours in the future, and I can provide more content, right? If you did like this manga haul, I've got plenty of others like it on the channel, so you can go check out all of those various manga hauls from, like, I think I had one where I did 3 volumes. Don't watch that video, it's bad. I probably should just remove it from YouTube, but you know what, I'm not going to, because we honestly don't know. But I've got a lot of our manga hauls in the channel. There will be a playlist list down in the description that has all of the other manga hauls in it, along with a few other random videos. But that besides, we also have a community with a Discord server and a Twitter page. You can come join those, talk about manga that you get. I'd be great to hear, and like, if got any for the holiday season, yeah, you can come drop them there, because I think that's pretty cool. And with that, I don't have too much else to say. But yeah, great 13 volumes this month, and that's pretty cool if I do so myself. And I don't have too much else to say. This has been the holiday 2023 manga haul, of course, November and December, or maybe I should call it the Black Friday manga haul. Who really knows? I don't have too much else to say. And yeah, hope you guys are having a happy holiday season. This will be Glowplasma231 out.